living like the winter do.
Sitting with the crew, had to get some food. I see you looking like you do. Had to make a move. Till I got a groove in a Jimmy Choo. Break the rules, no you're not a fool, but I'm in the mood.
Peace, y'all. It's Nate Almighty, aka the Global Dark Skin Ambassador. Another Rikers Island story. I want to be transparent. The reason why I want to be transparent is because, like I said, all my Rikers Island stories, although highly entertaining, you know what I'm saying? Although I do feel like I'm top 2, top 3 jail story vloggers on YouTube, I want to be transparent and speak about the fears that I had in my mind during that very first shackled up ride to Rikers Island. Bear with me. I don't know how long this video gonna be. Before I get into it, I want to welcome the returning subscribers and shout out to you if you're watching my video for the first time. Go ahead, subscribe, hit that button, hit that like button. But so let me tell y'all exactly what was going through my mind. You know what I'm saying? As you can see, you know, I got some weight on me now, you know, but I'm 30 years old. When I first went to Rikers Island after I got remanded for catching an unnecessary felony charge outside my high school in front of Wendy's, I was about 5'7", 5'8", 150 pounds. I had heart, but you know, I was human. You know, I feel like I'm a lot more in tune with my feelings, and I'm a lot more honest with myself than most other men, especially in these predicaments, you know. So just picture this. 5'7", 5'8", young man, just turned 17, right? Out in the streets trying to be a bully, you know, being a follower, being a troublemaker, you understand me? I really didn't know what I was in for. I really didn't know what I was in for at all, you feel me? So this is what happens. You get remanded, you go back to the cell, they shackle you up, right? It's late at night now, so it's late at night, they shackling the shit out of you. You know, your waist is tied, your waist is chained to your arms, okay? Your legs are shackled up. It was a while since I was that shackled up, you know. The last time I was shackled up like that, I was 14, 15, 16 years old in juvie. You understand me? So immediately when they put them shackles on me like that, I'm thinking to myself, damn, back to modern day slavery. We back, you know. So now picture this. They put you on the bus. You never been to Rikers Island. And the only thing you've ever heard of is, you know, how deadly Rikers Island is, how violent Rikers Island is, you know? You know, and I remember just being shackled up. My co-defendant was with me. We were shackled up together, so it's not like anybody was like trying to do anything to us on the bus. But while I'm on the bus, you could see dudes my age that been to the island already, they already getting in their bag. They talking to dudes. They, you know, they trying to tell dudes to give them their sneakers. You know, a couple dudes is getting beat up in back of the bus. Police acting like they don't care about it as long as it's not too loud. And I'm thinking like, wow, this ain't juvie. We not in Kansas no more, man. This ain't Horizon. This ain't Spofford. This a whole nother evil, man. This a whole nother devil. And although I wore, you know, a tough face, although I put on a mask, you know, and all due reality, you know, a nigga was terrified. You know, like, a nigga was scared. Not so scared that I was gonna go into Rikers Island and sign into protective custody, but scared enough to where I really didn't know if I was gonna make it. I did not know if I was gonna make it, up until that point, I hadn't been jumped too many times, but I jumped a lot of people, Up until that point, I had way less one-on-ones than I had on Rikers Island. On Rikers Island, I had more one-on-ones in a year and a half. Even though I was jumping people in there too, but I personally had more one-on-ones in that year and a half than I ever had in my whole life accumulated, and I was worried, The things that go through my head is, probably the same thing that goes through other people's head when they going in the search engine and they trying to figure out about Rikers Island or other jails, I'm shackled up. I remember just being real quiet as I'm shackled up to my co-defendant, and I'm like, am I gonna make it? I hadn't been on Rikers Island. So people who haven't been to jail, you're not gonna know that you don't get sexually assaulted in Rikers Island. Like, I've never heard of that happening. Like I said, any sweet cake stuff that probably goes on Rikers Island is voluntary. It's voluntary, But I'm questioning myself. I'm like, is somebody really gonna try to take my manhood? Like, is somebody really gonna assault me from behind? I'm not gonna say it the way I want to say it for the sake of YouTube. I want this video to reach as many people as possible. You feel me? But I was really questioning, like, they really gonna try to take my peanut butter? I'm thinking to myself, like, if somebody tries to do that to me, I'm really not gonna make it home. I ain't know the law all the way, but I already assumed that they couldn't give me no more than 3 years, which I ended up serving a 1 to 3, so I was basically right. But I'm like, what am I gonna do if somebody like tries to catch me in the shower and penetrate me? Like, how would I be able to live with myself? How would I be able to live with myself if I let somebody do that to me? I'd have to kill him. In my head, I'm already picturing myself making a shank, even though I didn't know what shanks were made of at this time. Getting a pen, a pencil, stabbing people in the eye for doing stuff to me. And immediately in my mind, I'm picturing all this negative stuff to do to people. People who look like me, you feel me? And me being from New York and going to Rikers Island, it's like, I'm just thinking to myself, like, what if somebody tries to cut my face? What if somebody tries to stab me? How am I supposed to respond to that? I'm questioning, like, yeah, I was being tough out in the town, but this is going to be my real test. Because regardless of what you're doing in the streets, when you go to jail, you really figure out what kind of man you really are, Some dudes, they got a certain level of evil and oppression in them to where they'll get to Rikers Island and they'll immediately be that person, that super oppressive, violent person, Some people, they try to tread lightly. Other people, they just try to do the status quo, so they won't have a huge target on their back and they can still live and maintain a certain level of respect, People like me. I seen other dudes be totally terrified and go through it, get slapped up, extorted, all that, and then one day they just snap. And then they become one of the biggest savages anywhere in that building, But I was scared. I was. And I want people to know this and watch this video because We need to understand that as men, it's okay to have fears, you know? But even though I had these fears, I understood that even as young as 17, that it's a certain amount of principles that I'm gonna have to live by. You know, it's basically ego that kept me from signing in the PC, you know? Because I knew that I was from a certain neighborhood. It was certain people at that time, not now, that I looked up to. It was people that I knew that was locked up in jail, and I knew that I couldn't go in there and be pussy. Because if I did, how can I go home and be the person that I want to be? When somebody could just say, hey, listen, shut up. Shut up. The whole time you was on Rikers Island, niggas was slapping you around, taking your food, taking your phone calls so you can't call your mother. You know, it's my ego and my vanity, you know what I'm saying? If I ain't had that ego and vanity, I could have easily just went in there and signed in the PC. And I wouldn't even be here talking to y'all right now. Because I'd have just been a bitch ass nigga, you know? And I'd have came home, probably moved away way sooner so I don't get ridiculed by the people I grew up with. And that just would have been it, you know? But I was scary, you know? I mean, not scary, but I was scared during that first shackled up ride to Rikers Island. It was nerve-wracking. Like, shit, come subscribe. Peace.